podcast where we keep it real about relationships, friendships, and navigating life's hustle. Today we're diving deep into the game of balancing work, entrepreneurship, and keeping those tight connections alive. It's all about being true to yourself. And you know you gotta address the elephant in the room, social media. From double taps to DM slides, we'll break down how it's changing the game of relationships. Join me Wednesdays at 6 p.m. on Fire 716 Radio. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Unplugged. So today I have with me Noah Thomason joining us from Georgia. How's it going, Noah?
I'm good, Jay. How are you?
I'm good. How is Georgia? Like, what is it like up there right now?
The school or just the state of Georgia?
The school, the state of Georgia, all of it.
The University of Georgia is fun. It's a lot of it's different. I'll say the Niagara. Niagara having 2,500 students, and now y'all go to school with 40,000 students. So, it's been cool though. Everything is smooth. The people out here are nice. It's that Southern hospitality. So we eat good food and we have a good time.
What was that transition like for you? Was it like a kind of like a cultural shock from going from such a small school to like a bigger school?
Oh yeah, it was definitely a culture shock at first. Just at Niagara we could walk to class every day, and now I have to take a golf cart to class. You can't. It takes too long to walk. It takes like 40 minutes to get from class to the arena. So that's a different thing. And then just going back to school with football again, I think that's been the biggest thing. Just on Saturdays, it's so much traffic down here. 100,000 people at the games and stuff. So I think that's the biggest transitioning for me. Just so many people.
Do you like UGA better than Niagara?
Oh yeah, my living situations are better. Like I said, it's a totally different atmosphere. I mean, playing back closer to home for me it was also a blessing. I'm just an hour flight away from Houston. It's just different. The media spotlight is different. It's almost like we're in the spotlight every single day. It's 40, 50 cameras every day at practice. We do interviews all the time. It's NBA scouts at practice. So I definitely like this new fit for me.
And with there being NBA scouts, is that your plan to eventually go into the draft? Because I know that before you transferred, it was either going to the draft or going to a different school. So are you still looking to go that route or no?
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal, to play professional basketball. It's been a lifelong dream for me. So I feel like going here to this bigger step and, bigger level, higher level in school, I think this helps me get to that goal a lot easier than being at NU.
In what kind of ways, like, aside from there being NBA, I mean, that's kind of a dumb question, but yeah, in what kind of ways?
I mean, just the spotlight. I mean, at Niagara, we played on, ESPN Plus, which is like nobody's going to be watching that. It's never on national TV. Whereas here at Georgia, we have over 15 national television games. It's just a spotlight. I mean, our football team is a 2-time national champs. So it's just a lot of stuff going on here in Athens, Georgia, as opposed to, little Niagara Falls.
And then I know that your last year in Niagara, you were kind of like the star of NU. So do you feel like going into this season, you're going to have a lot more pressure on you?
No, I don't think it's going to be any pressure at all. Not for me, at least. I think, the outsiders might think it'd be a little pressure, but going to a new school with, more resources and I'll say really, really good players, it's more just fun. You more can relax knowing that it's other really, really good players out there on the floor with me at all times, as opposed to at NU, I was the main player all the time. So I felt like it was more pressure at NU than it is here.
So you kind of have like more of a safety net at UGA is what you're saying?
Yeah. So like if I stink up the gym one day, I know somebody's got my back, as opposed to at NU, if I stink up the gym, it's going to be harder for us to win.
Okay. And can you give me a little background history on just like you and basketball in general? How did you get started and all that stuff?
Well, I'm from Houston, Texas. So, obviously we have a professional team in Houston. My mom is a big time sports person. Basketball, football, tennis, whatever she's watching, it's always on the TV. So basketball season was always big to her. We was going to sit down in the living room and we wasn't going to watch cartoons. We were going to watch basketball. So when I got to an age to where I could start playing sports, the first thing she put me in was basketball, and it kind of just stuck. And then she has the personality to where, like, if we're going to do something, we're going to do it. we're not going to slack on it. So after I got a certain age and she started paying checks every month, it was like, this is what we're going to do. So from the time I was about 8, that's when we really went hard at it. And then it paid off for me eventually.
Were you in AAU or anything, or were you just in like little league?
So I started out in Little League, and she started to notice that it got a little easy for me, the talent level and how easy it was for me to kind of dominate the sport. So she said, we're going to start playing AAU. And then from the time I was in the 3rd grade to the 11th grade, we played AAU all the way up. So
how has AAU prepared you for D1 level?
Just going against the best of the best every weekend. I'll say when I got to high school, it became more like college because they don't want your money anymore. They want the best of the best. So knowing I had to earn a spot as opposed to just my mom writing off money every month was different. And then every weekend, like I said, just being where I'm from, we're going to play against really good talent. Guys who's going to eventually be in the NBA and guys that's going to play on live TV for a long time. So.
And then, okay, so you're a student and then an athlete. How does that all coordinate into one another? Because I feel like people don't really understand how much pressure it is. And like being in class, I used to feel so bad for you. Like you'd like come in and be like, man, we just came back from a game last night. Now we got to turn in this paper. Like That's a lot of work.
Right. I mean, yeah, like you said, a lot of people don't understand what goes into it. I mean, you would know we would have a game at 7 p.m. and have to ride 8 hours back, and we'd have a 9 o'clock class, and I'd be in there with my headphones in, like not really trying to listen to what they have to say. But it's the same thing as regular students. They just think that we have a sport to play. I feel like professors are more lenient at times because we play sports, but it's not easy. But I will say at this new school, it kind of feels like I'm an athlete student as opposed to a student athlete. So.
And what is the difference between an athlete student and a student athlete?
Well, when you get in your undergrad, it's more classes. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to try to get that first degree. And then I feel like at this new school, my new journey to the stage I'm in, I'm not gonna say I'm burnt out with school a little bit, but it's more like, I'm happy to get my master's degree, but it's not something I'm really paying attention to. I'm more focused on trying to, maximize my time here basketball wise. Because it's a short amount of time, 10 months. So I'm more focused on the athletic part as opposed to the academics right now. But like I said, I still got to do what I got to do to stay eligible, but it's just not really my priorities right now.
How long is your so you're only going back for 1 year, not 2?
Mm-hmm. Right. So the master's program is a 2-year program. So I'll get my first year done here on campus, and then my second year, whether I'm playing in the NBA or overseas, will be done online. So, Georgia does this thing where if you start a program, they'll help pay for it until you finish it. So.
Okay, that's nice. And then Can you tell me a little more about your master's degree? Because I know you're telling me that you got it and you're going for a nonprofit.
Yeah. It wasn't something I was interested in doing at first. I actually wanted to continue my communications, get a master in communications and broadcasting, but it's some rule that athletes you can't take courses that were offered at your previous institution. So I wouldn't have been able to do it. So we found a program that worked well with my schedule and something that I can use in the near future. Learning about nonprofits and doing different things like that. Like I know me, when I get out of school and when I'm done playing or while I'm playing, I want to implement some type of nonprofit where, we can get kids off the streets and get them into different things that may help them in life, not just basketball, but if that's, school or different things like that, trying to help the community as much as possible. So, taking this program has been fun. I'm working with a nonprofit called Family Promise of Athens, where it's for shelters for families that, are basically homeless. So just trying to implement innovative ways to improve their foundation is what we've been working on this entire semester. So it's pretty fun.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get more into like your basketball journey, because you started off. Well, no, we're gonna go to high school. When you were in high school, you were like average height. You weren't. How tall were you in high school?
My freshman year, I was 5'7". My sophomore year, I grew to 5'9", 5'10". Then my junior year, I really didn't grow. Then my senior year, I shot to 6'2". And then like I kind of wasn't like that star player how people thought I was at NU until my senior year when I hit my growth spurt, and then I had a good year, and then just school started calling, and then we picked the school from there.
Okay, so can you tell me how tough it was for you, like in your earlier years of high school?
It was challenging because most guys want to play varsity as soon as they get to high school. I have peers that have been playing varsity since ninth grade, but for me, it just wasn't like that. But it was something I thought about all the time, but it was also it was kind of like a throwback to my childhood, just being overlooked all the time. And then I knew that if I kept working and I kept God first, things were going to turn out well for me. So, the main thing was just trying to run my own race. I didn't want to look at other people. I didn't try to gauge my career off of other people's careers. I just wanted to stay focused to what I needed to do, which I had a really good, my mom and my dad, they kind of helped me with those situations. Is just like saying, don't worry about it. It's going to work out for you. Just keep working at it and it's going to pay off. So, and it eventually did. So.
And then, so when you went to college, you started off JUCO, correct?
No, so I went Division I my freshman year at this small school, kind of similar to NU, but it was called Houston Baptist, which is now Houston Christian University. They just changed their name recently. 13, 14 minutes away from the home. Division I school. I thought it was just the best situation for me to be home, be around my friends and family, and play at one of the higher levels in college.
Okay, so what has it been like transitioning over the years? Because it's kind of like each year that you transfer to different schools, you're kind of like leveling up in a sense. So what has that?
It's been cool. I mean, like I tell people all the time, like I tell even my teammates here, if I could redo it again, I would do it the same way. I started out at a smaller Division I. I actually did not play a lot at that school. I rarely played. Like, it was up and down for me my freshman year. Typical for most freshmen. COVID hit, and me and my mom just felt like a change of scenery would have been best for me in my career. I went to junior college in Kansas, which nobody ever wants to live in Kansas. It's cold. It's in the middle of nowhere. Like it ain't nothing to do out there, but it was the best place for me to keep my head down and work. And it prepared me by living 9 hours away from home to go to NU. That was 21 hours away from home, which was in my opinion, an upgrade from my first school. And even then, like it was a culture shock. I had never seen snow like that before. I'd never been to New York, but it helped me and it shaped me to now where I'm at now, back in Georgia. So.
What would you tell younger kids who are looking to go D1?
You have to make sacrifices. I think that's the biggest thing. You've seen it in the 2 years that I went to school with you. Just certain things that you just have to give up at times. Whether that be in going out with your friends every day. You might have to work out extra. Or you might have to. You say what?
You were at every party.
Not every party. My first year, I wasn't at. My second year, when I was doing my thing, I was able to, relax a little bit, and I was taking care of my business in school. But, when things aren't going well for you, you have to see what you have to take away, and if that's going out, then you have to do that. But certain people are different. Some people can stay up all night and be ready for practice at 8 a.m. I wasn't one of those people. My first year in Niagara, I seen tough challenges. I wasn't playing the best basketball that I knew I could play, so it was certain things that I had to take out of my daily life, whether that be staying up playing video games or just anything. So I think that's just making sacrifices and kind of understanding what you're at school for.
And would you say that you also have to train like a lot?
It's like a full-time job. I think basketball or any sport in college is like a full-time job, 40 hours a week. You have to be disciplined. You have to understand that it's going to be ups and downs, because that's what come with it. It wasn't perfect for me at NU. It wasn't perfect for me at any other school. It was times where I didn't see success. It was times where I failed as a basketball player, but you have to understand that, and you have to, use that as motivation to keep going.
When it came time for you to decide if you wanted to transfer or not, what pushed you to that point?
Well, I wanted to stay at first, just because I felt like I got comfortable being in New York. I knew the area, I knew all the people. It was actually my mother that was like, no, I think you need to reconsider this, because I had said I was going to stay, and and get my master's in sports management there, and then just go on about my life. But I was blessed to be in a situation where one, I could earn, big time money as a college athlete, and kind of help provide for my family. So it was just like a situation that I couldn't turn down, that NU wasn't going to be able to do. So it was hard, and I didn't want to do it, but it was something I had to do. So once I, went in the room and told him, it was like I was in tears, just because I built a really strong relationship with them. But like I said, I knew that I had to leave. I couldn't turn down on that opportunity.
How were you presented with the NIL opportunity?
It wasn't presented to me because it's a really tricky situation. Coaches can't talk about it. It's through a third party company that's in the same location as the university. So, different universities had their collective, which is ran by the NIL department, call my family and just kind of express like, hey, this is how much money that we think your son is worth. And, we kind of started getting those numbers, and schools calling before I even decided to transfer. That's what made my mom be like, hey, like, no, like, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but this is where we're at. And I think it may be best that you leave. So, anytime we're talking, money that my mother, it might take my mother 3 or 4 years to make, you have to take advantage of those situations.
Niagara is not in that situation at all.
No, and it's not that it's not a discredit to them. It's just the alumni board is not as big as some of these schools. I mean, we talk about Georgia has 40,000 students. And when I looked at my final three, Georgia, Penn State, Pittsburgh, they have 40,000 students. The alumni board is ridiculous. You have NBA players, NFL players that can dump money into these collectives that can help student athletes. NU just doesn't have that. I think they will be there soon, but not at the same level as these big time schools.
If it ever came time to it, would you go back to Niagara to help them build up that foundation that they need?
It just kind of depends on what my status is after I'm done playing college basketball. I mean, if I play in the NBA and I'm blessed to do that, of course. I mean, I look at myself as an alumni, because I graduated from there, obviously, but at times it's hard because I only spent 2 years there, so I don't know. And my coach may not be there anymore. It's just a lot of different questions that you have to ask yourself. So, but Niagara is always going to be a home to me. I was telling, my friends the other day, I actually miss the small community of Niagara. I miss being able to walk around campus and see all of y'all and stuff like that. Whereas now, like, I live 11, 12 minutes away from campus. And when I get on campus, I park at the arena, and it's a manager picking me up in a golf cart to take me to class, pick me up from class, and stuff like that. So it's just not the same feeling, but I still like these opportunities too.
I'm about to cry. Let me collect myself. Right. No, I'm playing. But that's crazy. I really do miss Niagara. So
I mean, it was cool though. Like, we had that PR class together that I hated, but like our class had like 12 people in it. Now I'm in a class with 185 people. Like, the professor doesn't even know who I am, and it's insane to me, like, how it is. Like, we have teacher assistants. I never even like heard of that. It's like 5 teacher assistants in our class.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's crazy. But like, I miss like the small, like, everybody knew each other in that little class. We was chilling. We had a good time, but it's just not like that anymore. So
yeah, I don't think I would have ever been able to go to a big school just because. No, like, I need I need to be able to feel like my teacher knows me. I'm seen. Like, I still talk to most of my professors. I just talked to like my marketing professor the other day. Like, I can still have those conversations with my old teachers. So
right. I
don't want to feel like that. What has been your biggest takeaway throughout your whole life from just basketball or life lessons? What is the most important thing that you have learned?
I've learned that basketball can take me a lot of places that I never thought it would take me. This summer I went to Italy. Last year I went to Dublin, Ireland. These are places that without this game, I know for a fact I wouldn't have went. I've met a lot of people that, have impacted my life through around basketball. You know what I'm saying? Just it teaches you discipline. It teaches you hard work, teamwork, a lot of things that you will use for work that, without those things, I don't know if I would have had these different qualities or traits. So I don't take it for granted. I think it's blessed my life. It's helped me change my family's life. not just money wise, but giving them something to look for, on Tuesdays and Fridays when we play. So that just different things like that. So
Excuse me. When you were in Italy, what was that like?
it was different. It was hot, really, really hot. We got to see 7 cities in 10 days. We went to Rome, or we stayed in Rome. We went to uh, Florence, Sorrento, Pompeii, the Amalfi Coast, and Capri in Naples. So I got to see a lot. We got to see the Vatican, Roman Colosseum, the volcano in Pompeii, different things like that. So it was different. Playing against foreigners and overseas kind of gives you an outlook on what it could be like if you don't make it to the NBA. The conditions that we had to play in was a little different. No AC in the gym, so it was really hot. But it was a lifetime of an opportunity. Like it was a blessing just to be able to see those different things. Like for me to be able to say I've seen the Sistine Chapel is like insane. Like I never thought I'd be able to see that where the Pope lives, stuff like that. Like that, it's just an unbelievable opportunity.
What do people overseas play like? Like, is it a different type of technique or skill?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Americans we're more athletic. They're more skilled. Uh, they play the game the right way. I'm not going to say we play the game the wrong way, but they do the right things all the time, and they can make you pay. We won by a lot over there because we were older than them, but you can tell that they're really advanced for their age.
Okay. Who would you say is your biggest role model in life? Aside from
Um,
your mom,
you
because
said
I
besides
know
my mom?
yeah.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that because you know how me and my mom are. But uh, this is actually a crazy one because it just became my role model. I think Coach Paulus at Niagara, my head coach. Um,
Really?
yeah, I mean, I've learned so much from him. He does everything the right way, and in my 2 years that I've known him, I've taken away so much of the lessons that he's taught me. Um, how to be a young man, not just a basketball player. I look at him and I think he does a good job of being a father, different things like that I know I can take away for a long time. And I know for a fact that when it's time, if I need to ever make that call to him, I know he will help me out.
Do you guys still keep in contact with each other?
Oh yeah, he checks in from time to time to see how I'm doing. He'll ask my coach here, how am I doing? When my grandmother tragically passed away, he was one of the first people to get on the phone and reach out to me. And he's not my coach anymore, so for him to do that is something that I'm really appreciative of him. Whatever he needs, if that's recruiting a player for his team, I told him he can have that player give me a call, and I'll say whatever I need to say about GP just because of the type of dude he was for me.
Shout out to Coach Paul. I know he played at Duke, right?
Played at Duke,
Duke.
then played quarterback at Syracuse, so he's um he's a big time figure in New York. So shout out to GP. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to go back at the NU and walk in his office and just give him a hug after the season or whenever I have free time. So I am gonna come back up there and holler at everybody. So
Oh, don't make me cry. So who is your favorite basketball player?
LeBron James, that's the GOAT. And it has nothing to do with basketball. It's more just of who he is off the court. He doesn't get in any trouble. He's a married man. He has children. He's good to his children. He I think he just like I said, does everything the right way, and it's something that I can look up to and kind of take away from some of the stuff that he does.
And what was that like?
Nothing basketball related. He's 6'9", I'm 6'3", 6'4", maybe. So our games are totally different, but just kind of how he carries himself, different business decisions he makes is just kind of brilliant to me. Um, I think the life after basketball thing is the biggest thing for me. Just seeing how he's kind of put himself in a situation where he's going to still make money, until the day he dies. So.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Well, we're kind of at the end. Is there anything else you would like to say or anything?
Um, I'll just say thank you for having me on. Obviously, I've known you for a good little while now. I've just seen the growth um, of a young lady that you've become, and I just want to say, just keep it up, keep doing you, and I'm proud of you. Just want you to know that.
I'm proud of you too. I really am. Thank
Thank you.
you. Yeah, it was nice talking to you. It was nice catching up. So I'm a little I don't have anything else to say, so we're gonna cut it. But this was dope, though. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
No problem. No problem.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Oh, tune in next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. And thank you guys for joining me again.